girl that plays Pokemon. This is a girl that is used to being abused, neglected, treated badly, given minimum effort for the last 20 years, and she's still stuck around. So if you want somebody for the long term, if you want somebody that's going to stick with you no matter what, really, no matter what, you want to find yourself a Pokemon girl. That's it. Pokemon used to actually look good. Yeah, they did. I mean, like, there were, like, Arceus had aura, bro. Like, that shit, like, some of the old Pokemon were badass. And where do I find them? You just go on the Twitch and you just message them, be like, hey, you're really hot. Do you want a boyfriend? And they'll usually just say yes. I mean, like, obviously, I think that's how it works. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, at least. What's your sales prediction for this game? Infinity $1 million. It will sell infinity $1 million. It will be massively successful, and people will be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe how amazing this is." Oh my god, not for a chance. Yeah, of course. Asmon Strat leaked. Yeah, that's how you catch them all. Yeah, exactly right. Look at the dev team who made this. It's just probably a bunch of people in Japan. I mean, I don't really know what else besides that, right? And what is this? Kathy Hochul's administration is seeking to shut down prediction markets. As records show, she's received over $500,000 from casino lobbyists. Like, am I the only person that thinks, like, I think all of it should be okay or none of it should be okay? Like, I think that you should let people do. If you want to be doing casinos, then do casinos. If you want to do prediction markets, do prediction markets. If you want to do lotteries, do lotteries. But like, I don't really see the world where, like, I don't see the world where like lotteries are good and prediction markets are bad. Or, I guess maybe a lottery isn't as bad. Actually, to be fair, I don't think a lottery is as bad. But, other forms of, I don't think prediction markets should be reporting on the news. They're gambling sites, not news outlets. Well, the thing is that I do think it shouldn't be reporting. I wouldn't want prediction markets reporting on the news either, but unfortunately, they have more integrity than the news outlets, right? I mean, we've reached a dystopia where the most accurate and the most fair news broadcasts are going to be coming from Kalshi and Polymarket. I think that's definitely not a good place to be in, but it's a place that CNN and Fox News have put us in, right? News outlets are pure and utter garbage. They are. I think they're terrible. So this really isn't a surprise at all, right? Money tells no lies. Exactly, right? And anyway, that's the way I think that if you're okay with casinos, you should be okay with prediction markets. And if you're okay with prediction markets, you should be okay with casinos. I don't see an issue where one is okay and the other one isn't. It has to be both or neither, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think, right? Lottery is worse than prediction markets. Lottery is 1 in a million chance. Prediction market's going to be at least 50-50. Yeah, but like functionally, the way that people gamble, like the user behavior, the consumer habits of prediction markets, I think are more corrosive than a lottery, right? Someone wants to gamble, let them gamble, that's on them. Yeah, I think so. The casinos benefit from shutting down prediction markets. They do. Because prediction markets are just another form of gambling. It's kind of like, imagine if, let me think of a good way to say this. Like, let's say there's like Monster Energy and Gatorade both occupy similar spaces. Monster Energy is different than Gatorade, and Gatorade is different than Monster Energy, obviously. But there's a overlap Venn diagram of people that if one was gone, they would drink the other. And I think prediction markets and casinos are kind of like that, right? I mean, I don't know if that's a good analogy. I'd have to really think it out. I mean, I just came up with that right off the cuff. So, like, maybe it's not a good one, but, like, overall, I think that's really what it is. And, sports gambling can be some of the easiest money you ever make if you know what you're doing. Well, I mean, I would not recommend, this is the way I look at it, right? If you want to gamble, go ahead and gamble. I don't think you should gamble. Like, I never gamble. I would never recommend people to gamble. We take gambling sponsors because, I mean, it's a weird situation where, like, I have to really appreciate gambling in a unique way nowadays. And the reason why I appreciate gambling, here's why. It's because gambling stands up for free speech. Gambling is willing to sponsor somebody like Nick Shirley. They're willing to sponsor somebody like me. So at the end of the day, I can't even really have a lot of animosity towards gambling because if it wasn't for gambling, we probably wouldn't have as much independent journalism and as much freedom of speech as we have now. So as much as I don't like gambling, I think that in some cases there are some positives, right? There's certainly a silver lining. So yeah,
Tää
I gamble
vittua
occasionally
tää
between
paska
$5 to $5.
tekee.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I just don't
Saatana.
like it. Although isn't that
Niin
coping? Although I can see where you're coming
vittu
from.
siitä.
Well, I don't think it's really coping. I think it's just a verifiable fact that these gambling companies don't have the same type of like moral fucking reservations about promoting somebody that's seen as conservative. Oh my god. So I don't think that's true at all. Watching you promote a credits card yesterday was funny. I saw you suffering. I didn't even know what that was. I don't really go through a lot of them. It's just like whatever. But yeah, Reckless Ben just did an interview with Channel 5. I saw that, and he's doing a good job. And Mitch Jones is changing people's lives. I won 5K while in the hospital for typing yo. It's funny because I wonder if that's actually true, or that's like somebody paid, like being paid to do that. Like I have no idea, but yeah, I mean, I think that if that's true, that's awesome. I mean, like, and also, like, that's the way that gambling works, right? I mean, there's not always gonna like there are people that win when they gamble, right? But I just wouldn't recommend it, and I would never do it myself, right? That's really about it. Same with smoking or drinking. Like, I don't smoke. I don't smoke. Cigarettes. I don't do drugs. I don't drink alcohol. I just don't do any of that stuff. The reason why I just don't really like it, it's really about it. There's not like really a big reason or, like a whole fucking ideology behind it. I just don't really give a shit, really. Mm. Cigars? No, absolutely not. I don't like the feeling something like that in my lungs. Like I don't like the experience of it. It's just like, I mean, there are people that like sticking things up their butt. They like the feeling of that. I don't like the feeling of that, right? Well, I don't know if I like the feeling of that because I've never done it. But I'm just going to assume that that I don't, and I'm never going to find out. And that's intentional. So just imagine if I did. So anyway, no, I'm being honest, right? I just don't like that physical feeling of having that stuff, in my lungs, right? Cigars are for tasting, not breathing in. You know what I like tasting? Beef jerky. I like beef jerky. I like Dr. Pepper. I like Sody Pops. And that's about it. That's about it. And other than that, I really couldn't give less of a fuck, man. So that's it. First taking a shit, yeah, I'm just telling you, like that's it. That's the way I see it. And something, yeah, drugs are a huge way to waste a lot of money. That's the reason why I never did drugs. Like, whenever I was a little kid, this is going to sound stupid, but like, whenever I was a little kid, I always thought I'd grow up and be a drug addict because I used to always act crazy, and I saw people that were drug addicts that were crazy. So I'm like, I guess that's just what's going to happen to me. I'm going to be a crackhead. And so, like, I'm like 6 or 7 years old, right? I mean, like, it's not like I really know what I'm talking about here, right? So I do this, and I'm just like, okay, well, this is just the way it is. And I get older, and I realize that like actually buying meth is really expensive, and like if I buy meth, like that's like literally half of like a PlayStation. Okay, well, I'm not gonna never mind. I don't do drugs. Yeah, it's too expensive. Like it's just too much money, man. So yeah, let me look over here and find this anti-white slur should be similar to Tony. Finally, an actual unpopular opinion. Either Shiloh Hendricks should be set free or other anti-white slurs should be similarly punished. The blatant double standard against free speech is very real in this case. The reason for being charged primarily is because of the N-word, which is not an illegal word. If it's going to be criminalized, then under the Civil Rights Act, all racial slurs, including anti-white slurs, need to be equally treated. Equality needs to be enforced. These people never wanted equality. They want to tell you what to do and they want to control you. I think that's really what it is. I mean, I think that's always been what it is. Like, in my opinion, I don't think that you should say racial slurs at people with like malicious intent. And I think being racist is kind of cringe. But if you want to say it with your friends as a joke or something like that, on Xbox Live, I don't really care. I don't think it's a big deal. Like nobody gives a shit, right? And if you do give a shit, you probably like. I wish I could just send you to a third world country so you had real problems to care about, rather than the words people are using and in like on an online lobby, right? It's just stupid. But yeah, there's obviously, and it's a double standard that I think our society just embraces, right? Is that you can be racist to white people, you can't be racist to black people. You can say eat the rich, but you can't say eat the poor. Fat bitches can get around all day and complain about skinny bitches, but the moment that skinny bitches get around and call a bitch fat, well, now they're being bullies. You can make fun of people that are, tall and make jokes about them, but you can't really do that in the same way with people that are short. I guess maybe Kevin Hart's an example of the opposite, but in general, I think that's true. The idea is that, like, punching down, like, culturally is acceptable. Like, this is just the way it is. And black people are seen as being in a secondary or a lesser position socially than white people. So that's the reason why, like, there's this dynamic, right? And it's the other way around. Well, I don't know about that. I'd say, so tell a liberal girl she looks like Lizzo. Punching up. Yeah, sorry, I mean punching up, right? So punching up is culturally acceptable, and this is the case with everything. That's the reason why you can have so much anti-white resentment, anti-male resentment, anti-rich resentment, but you can't have a lot of the opposite, and it's not culturally acceptable in the same way. It's because of the entire idea of punching up. Now, in my opinion, I think the entire idea of that is flawed. I don't like it. I think it's corrosive and toxic. The reason why is because if you are creating acceptable targets for animosity and hostility, I mean, like, really, there's the people that are doing that, the people that want to do that are people that probably have bad intentions, right? So you're basically taking somebody with bad intentions that wants to rationalize or normalize their brand of hate or their brand of, like, animosity, and normalize that to the extent that it's culturally accepted, which I think is cringe. It's very stupid. People thought they should be called up or down. Yeah, definitely. If everybody's racist, nobody is. But yeah, I mean, this is obviously a double standard. I think everybody knows this is a double standard, and I think more people need to realize that. Remember, people scream about equal rights are the same people who try and ruin your life for walking around like you're in an Xbox 360 lobby today. Well, I've always said this, and I'll say it again and again and again and again, right? Because people don't really. I think this is a really tough lesson for a lot of people to learn, which is that a lot of the people that advocate for, equality and tolerance and all this stuff are the most intolerant and the most, like, caste-based in their mind type thinking people, right? And those are always the way those people act. You see, Texas is now going to require IDH check for Discord. No, I didn't see that. I mean, like, I think that's the future for the internet in general. The future for the internet in general is requiring an ID to use social media. Like, that's where things are going. Like, I'm just going to tell you right now, that's where things are going. I don't think this is really a good thing. I think that there are good elements to it, but I think it's a net negative, if that makes sense. So the reason why woke 2.0, it's not woke 2.0. This is just the reason why they're doing it is that, number one, is because obviously, like, what happens whenever there's, like, some weird child predator that's, like, trying to get on the internet and, like, try to meet up with, like, underage girls. Well, if you have that person attached to, like, a driver's license, for example, it's really easy to catch them. It's really easy to find them, right? And so there's also, like, if you know that your driver's license is attached to your account, the probability of you trying to hit up a 13-year-old is going to go down massively. So it's against diddlers. It's against also, like, there's a lot of terrorism stuff, right? Like Facebook stuff like that. And they don't care about all that. They just want more power. Well, I'm telling you about, like, why people vote for it. Like, I don't care about, like, what are the true intentions behind something. I mean, I feel like there's a million intentions, but I'm talking about, like, where are people's heads at? Where are people thinking? The average person doesn't care about anonymity on the internet. And I would say even a lot of people that know a lot about the internet know that this doesn't really actually move the needle or matter. The FBI, if they actually go after you, they're going to find out what you're doing on the internet. They can easily figure this out. They have a million tools. They have infinite analytics, telemetry devices, tracking tools, ways to catch people. The people that they don't catch are people that live in countries that don't have extradition treaties. That's the reason why some of these people are able to do bad stuff. It's not that they're in America and, like, the FBI can't get them. It's that they are in another country and the FBI can't extradite them or hold them accountable. So that's really what happens. Can't stop the FBI. Yeah, you're probably not going to have that happen, right? What's up with super low resolution? Is my stream low res? I feel like it's not. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, that's the exact same. I was about to say, because it's happened. Like you got me fucked up for a minute there, because that actually happened to me before. I had that issue in a previous stream. So this is shit internet. Yeah, you've been leaning forward in the cam, so the cam wasn't focused. Oh, oops. So sounds good in theory what you're saying about the FBI, but what about all these people shooting stuff up when they were on the FBI watch list? Well, we don't have Minority Report. And I think that we do need to have more red flag laws. And I think that the moment that somebody starts Fed posting and they're talking about like, I'm going to shoot up a school, or I'm going to, I'm going to start holding these people accountable like I bought a gun. Like the moment that I think somebody says something like that, I think that there should just be like an instant fucking like, oops, beep, 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 look who it is, it's a retard. And then they just immediately go to your house. They're like, okay, you're going to get a tracker on you. We're going to keep track of you because you're talking about killing people and we don't want you to do that. And that's the easy way. I mean, like, for some of these people, they should just go straight to a fucking mental institution. The fact that we have to deal with this is just crazy to me. Yeah, Lamal, Minority Report? Well, I mean, it's a minority self-report because they're the ones going out there saying it themselves. They're the ones doing it. The reason why Minority Report was bad is because they caught people based off of things they didn't do. This is based off of what somebody is doing. Like whenever you're saying like, yeah, I'm going to shoot this place up, or I'm trying to buy a gun, or I want to shoot these people, this isn't like a fucking projection, right? This is a plan. So I would go after those people. I would. And if it's not a direct threat, it's free speech. It's a slippery slope there. I mean, do you want to have somebody... Here's a good question, right? Do you want to have somebody going around and making threats like that, like talking about how, like, let's say somebody says that, like, well, I want to go to like a rally or something like that, and then shoot all of the people that are at that rally. Do you want to have that person out, like, out and about? Like, do you want to have that happen? No, that's a threat. Okay, so then, I mean, like, it's okay. So if you're talking about like wanting to kill a bunch of people, like this is the way I look at it, right? Is that on the internet, like if you went out and you went to a Walmart and you started saying, I want to kill everybody in the store, or I wish I could kill everybody in the store, that person should be taken immediately to a mental asylum and sedated, right? I mean, like, obviously this is what should happen. So I don't know, like, I don't really care about the freedom of speech from people that I think are subhuman. And I think that the moment somebody acts that way, they surrender themselves to becoming an animal. They are now an animal. And the moment that somebody behaves that way and acts this way, that's the point where you just can't treat them the same that you would treat a normal person. You can't look at this person and then think that this person deserves the same rights that you do. This is just not, it's not the way the world works, right? So does that make sense? I agree with that. How do you draw the line and prevent government overreach? The same way you draw the line with everything, and you prevent government overreach with everything. You have external reviews, secondary checks, and other types of accountability measures. Like, I mean, if that's the why, it's so odd that people are so worried about the process when you have such a massive problem. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have false positives. You're gonna put people like get fucking arrested and shit like this happens that they shouldn't. Yeah, sure. I mean, definitely. But that's the same with any law. I mean, we have people in jail for murder that didn't commit murder. That doesn't mean we shouldn't have murder be against the law. I mean, you just got to be reasonable with things, right? And people are always worried about overreach whenever there's no reach at all. Like, it's not even happening. So that's the way I see it. And they're so worried about a problem we've not only dealt with but resolved plenty of times in the past. That's why we're the best nation in the world. No, it's many reasons, right? Many reasons. And remember the left pushing for red flag laws for anyone that supported Trump? Yeah, of course, right? But they did that with COVID too, right? It's not like you needed that to happen. And let me go and find this up and look this other shit here. Because there's been a whole lot more of this. Cheryl Hendricks was convicted of hate speech and her freedom of speech removed, then we can go after people for making threats. Yeah, exactly, right? And that's another thing too, is that these people will do it all their own. Woke 2.0, what is this? Can I find it?
And streamers from this era who have like trolls remorse about this that feel guilty for making fun of this stuff back then because they think them making fun of this stuff gave rise to Trump and whatever. It's like, no, this stuff gave rise to Trump, not you reacting to it. Like, what?
You know what gave rise to Trump is a bunch of illegal aliens coming across the border. Is people being replaced with H-1B Indians. People not being able to get a job, and that's the reason why people voted for Trump. It's not because of fucking an internet meme or something like that. I mean, I get that people care about that, and I know it matters, but, like, let's be real for a minute here. Like, average people are not going to the ballot box and voting because of an internet meme or some ban on social media. Section 8 housing being filled with illegals. Yeah, like, they go and they see, like, you know, a bunch of, like, you know, the projects, and there's a bunch of people, like, stealing and looting and shit. Like, that's the reason why people voted for Trump. It doesn't have anything to do with anything else besides that.
Why wouldn't you make fun of this shit? It's ridiculous and it's counterproductive. Like, you wonder why so many Gen Z men are further right than, like, boomer men.
Good.
It's not because they watched a YouTuber called BuzzFeed cringe, right? It's because BuzzFeed and things like it, the media, academia, the culture that they grew up in, a reactionary movement needs something to react to. Like,
the reason why young men are right-wing and are becoming more right-wing is because society is engineered to disadvantage them. Every single advantage in society is engineered to exclude young men, and especially young white men. So why would you, as a white guy, like, let's say you're a 20-year-old white guy, why would you be in the same party of people that think that you have some sort of collective guilt for slavery, that want to impose reparations on you because of that think that they should be able to preferentially hire somebody else instead of you because of a racial quota, who think that women should have privileges that you don't have in universities, and any expression of masculinity is usually seen as toxic and gets you sent to HR. Why would a guy want to vote for that? Why would a 20-year-old guy want that? You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's actually really simple. Like,
this shit, as goofy as it was harmful. It was harmful to society in general, and it was harmful to, like, the left, because this is how people saw the left. Trump wasn't elected specifically because BuzzFeed, right? I'm like, that's stupid. But there was this, like, slingshot effect against woke one. But more importantly, there was a hole in politics left from a do-nothing neoliberal neocon establishment that was just waiting to be filled by a populace, and Trump filled that hole. Trump filled America's hole. He got America pregnant, and 9 months later, out pops a war with Iran. And America's like, I didn't ask for this. Well, why'd you open your legs, whore? Sorry. You were asking for it. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, now people online are like, oh, woke 2 is gonna be great. Woke 2 is gonna hit like crack.
If you thought we were woke before, you done went and woke the beast. Welcome to Woke 2.0.
Do you want Hitler 2? Because that's how you get Hitler 2. We are not doing this shit again. I would kindly advise against it. If you look at everything happening now, like, literal pedophiles running the world, bills being passed to merge our military with foreign militaries, a bunch of
not happening, by the way.
And AI surveillance cameras popping up everywhere, bombs we pay for with our tax dollars against our will, going to blow up children. All of this seems extremely petty and unimportant, but it was part of this, like, deeply subversive, destructive rot in society. I used to always say that culture war was a distraction from class.
Mandela Barnes dropped out today? Dog, Mandela Barnes dropped out days ago. Yeah? You are not? No, you're fine. Anyway. Folks. We're alive, and I hope everyone's having a fantastic one. I look very professional. I look like Patrick Bet-David with his background, I feel like. Anyway, it is Saturday, August 1st, first day of August. We're in the 8th month already. The year is passing by, and it is crazy. Anyway, We're live. We're live. And this is the part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news. You look English? Cool. I like that. You look like that which you most despise. Law. I know, but I also like Gas Only Club. Thank you for 25 to the subs. I also like the Sigma Grindset podcast style situation. I like it. Much love from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Let's go, Abdul. Hell yeah. I will talk about the Spain situation today. I have some time before the IRO component later, so I'll have some time and I'll be able to get into it. That suit made Mark Levin cry. I mean, I've been making a lot of conservatives cry. You look like a high-powered executive in a gentleman's club. Good. Good. Last night, I ended the broadcast, but the work didn't end. Okay? I ended the broadcast thinking that I would go to sleep at a reasonable hour, but it turns out that wasn't in the cards for me. Okay? What was in the cards for me instead was to go canvassing for Donovan McKinney. Adam Hamawi asked me to do it with him, so I was like, you got it. Okay? I was like, you got it. Adam, you ask me anything, Adam, I'll do it. Floor is open. Anyway. So, Adam was like, yo, come canvas. And I said, sure. So me, Donovan, and Adam, we went out to start canvassing. Yes, Austin Ox, I recorded it. David recorded it. We did. We went to Hamtramck on no food whatsoever. We get to a Yemeni coffee shop. I was so hungry that I ate a brownie, a pistachio Dubai chocolate brownie. El Diablo voice? Let me hear this sound.
Everyone's getting thanked out this evening, afternoon, freedom, no matter where you are in the world, the Stop Fighting in 2000 broadcast comes to you live.
What the fuck? Oh, the desktop is zoomed in. Oh, that's what's up. Bro, what the fuck? This is absolutely a classic. This is a classic David situation. That's why the fucking desktop was like weird. Classic David had to tweak every damn thing. Oh no. Oh no. What the fuck? No. God damn it, dude. Wow. David. Stand with David? No, we are not standing with David. This motherfucker changed everything, bro. He changed the display settings. Oh no, now we gotta... Is it 1440? There it is. There it is. Hold on. I gotta fucking zoom in on this bitch too. Or zoom out. Okay. David is a settings pervert. He really is. He loves changing settings. Like, he loves tweaking shit. He loves tweaking shit. Anytime he touches something, he's got to tweak like 18 different things. And it's hilarious because I am very like set in my ways. I have my settings. I'm super autistic. You know? He, of course, changed the display settings for some reason. That's why it was punched in. Haley Stevens called you talented. Yeah, that's one way to look at what she said. Anyway, as I was saying, I figured it out. I fixed it. We're good. That's off his back to being normal and not punched in. As I was saying, Brownie POV. Oh yeah, here I am downing it at this barber shop. Yeah, we went to bro's always eating? Dog. Are you serious? Bro is always eating? Even off camera, I can't be eating food. Why are you in the dean's office? Because I'm the dean. Yeah, I just realized this is kind of Streamers University. This is kind of Streamer University. Even like the backdrop and the jacket too, because they were wearing this color as well. But where was I? What was I talking about? So, you know what? I'll get into the feedback. He's not a chud ass loser, but basically the long and sweet of it is I went to bed real late last night at like 12, and then I couldn't sleep that much. I woke up at like 6, went back to sleep, woke up at 8, went back to sleep, woke up at 9. I'll give you guys all that update after I blast off. I'll give you the personal news after I blast off because it's related to the news, but it was a fun experience overall. People were shocked to see me in their, Yemeni restaurant in Hamtramck at like 11, doing canvas operations for Donovan McKinney. Hasanabe heads were confused. They're like, "Damn, bro, what the fuck are you doing here?" But yeah, this is a fun experience from when Will met Norm, who suspects us of being a gay couple.
So Will met Norm Finkelstein yesterday. You tell the story.
It was my fault because I was talking to Norm, and he was like,
"Yeah, my hair does look pretty fucking bad today." But anyway, fix the chudness is showing. Yeah, I think that's a little bit. Damn, that's not even better. Holy fuck, that's bad. That's really bad. I gotta get that hair transplant, man. I really do. Well, we gotta get this taken care of. Like, it's just embarrassing at this point. It is. It's so embarrassing. Like, Turkey went. Yeah, like I mean, we gotta do something about this. Like, I just look like a fucking idiot. I can get you in Turkey. No, I need to get a passport, honestly, just for other reasons too. But just in general, I need to get one. But yeah, I feel like I've gotten more crazy, like kind of, recently, because there's like I can just talk about whatever I want now on Twitch. But for a long time, I felt like I was a little bit more measured. But nowadays, I kind of just say whatever the hell I think, right? And so yeah, a month early on Valheim, September 9th. Oh, it says on September? Damn, I didn't even know that. Yeah, it's actually crazy. Like, wow, okay. Well, what is this here? Arrested at Walmart, Wally World.
Free to talk to you. Okay.
Isn't stealing against Islam? I don't think you're supposed to steal, right? It's like bad.
Yeah, do you have an ID on you? Yeah, driver's license on you.
It doesn't.
Every second, touch. Please don't touch.
Stop.
Don't touch. Don't touch.
You're gonna pick up charges. Get off.
Okay, I need you talking better.
Jesus.
I told you.
Please, no.
This one doesn't sound as exciting. She just goes and does what they say. Yeah, I mean, this is nothing like some of the other Crash Out Andes. Yeah, she's goy looping. Yeah, hands would be going. I guess so, right? And stealing against non-Muslims is halal. I think they just do it. And you crossed Atlanta, 30... This could also be Houston. Yeah, no, this, I'm not convinced this isn't Houston.
He's so old, certain technology, like he lived such an old school lifestyle, that certain technologies that he never even touched have passed him by at this point. He calls his assistant a webmaster. Okay? Anyway, Michigan, Fox News is losing it. Bill Maher loses on communism. Straight close, situation monitored. Tuesday race is coming up. And then, hold on. Amir Israel. Amir Israel entertains big strike on Iran. Donovan McKinney later. Get in now. Haley Stevens is talking about you. I know, I'm the talk of the motherfucking town, dude. I know. Alright, do we have a blast off meeting? Let's start there. We prefer to be called web perverts instead of webmasters. You want to be called a web pervert? Alright, give me a blast off mute, chat. Okay, I got one. This anti-gaming lobby is funny. Is your suit red or brown? I can't tell. It's burgundy. I like web gooners. We're going to talk about how Israel orchestrated a migrant crisis for Spain by way of Morocco. Morocco is not doing too great. Is not looking too hot lately. Okay, we'll get to all of that. We'll get to that as well. It's also one of those like insane things where if you're David Duke, you gotta have a fucking aneurysm, right? When shit like this happens, because you're just nutting. You're like, oh my god, the Jewish state is openly orchestrating a migrant crisis for a European country. That's literally what the Tucker Carlsons of the world, the Nick Fuentes of the world, like that's what they say Jews are doing. They're doing great replacement. Like that's their fucking conspiracy theory. And here you have Israel literally being like, yeah, it's awesome. We did that shit. It was dope. Once again, another moment where Israel just looks at like protocols and is like looks at all of the most like insane anti-Semitic conspiracies and is like, yeah, we should do all of that. We should do some of this, you know, and then say that we're doing it for Jewish people. Say that we're doing it for Jewish people, and then you know, and let's see how people react to it. You know, they're trope maxing. Anyway, so where to begin? Okay, so yeah, last night your boy was out working. Okay, call me the DSA right the way I'm out here trekking, hauling ass for elections. I am election maxing, okay? Basically, groundwork. Basically, or was it, is it SMC, okay? I'm telephoning, I'm phone banking, I'm canvassing, I'm DSA right currently, okay? Just for the time being, for the duration. Talk to me about foreign policy. Talk to me about the future of this country. I am, bro, DSA Left does this stuff too. I know, I'm making a joke. Can I make a little caucus joke? Is it allowed? No, it's not. Okay? In any case, I'm out here enjoying the process of engaging with election. Wait, were you helping at McKinney staging location last night? You helping set up get out the vote canvas packets? How many UAW folks you've seen so far? 88 month subscriber, by the way. Has to be one of the longest. H Bizzle, you are not one of the longest. Okay, Lib Bizzle. It was too late for UAW folks. We were literally doing it at like 9. We were doing it after 9 p.m., 10 p.m. So a lot of the UAW folks are probably sleeping. They do it during the day, we do it at night. Anyway, as I was saying, but yeah, UAW is busting ass, hauling ass out here too. So, Adam and Donovan are like, oh, let's go link up with Donovan. Let's do a canvas thing. I was like, of course. So I get in the car, get out there. I still haven't eaten. I'm starving. Okay, at this point it's like 9 p.m. and I still haven't eaten a single damn thing. Not even a goddamn cookie. Okay? I was like, fuck it, we ball. I'm out here. I'm here. Slop me out. I am at your service. I am at your disposal. Okay? Why are people saying eat? Eat. But we'll be having some Detroit pizza later, so at least there's that. So yeah, I scarfed down this brownie at the barber shop, and let me tell you, okay, look, I've done canvas stuff. I've done canvassing in underserved neighborhoods, and more often than not, in underserved neighborhoods, people are kind of uninvolved with elections. Okay. But there are certain things that I can point to, as you guys have seen in Denver, for example, that I can point to that immediately causes them to lock in, immediately connects the realm of like political action with one of the problems that they're experiencing in their lives, right? In Denver, it was the data center. I would be like, you like that shit? They say, no, fuck no, let's fix it, right? And I'll be honest, in Hamtramck, because this is like a more Muslim neighborhood now. Hamtramck used to be Polish, now it's Muslim. Like a lot of Muslim migration, a lot of Yemeni folks. It's like, near Dearborn, obviously. I thought AIPAC would be a prescient point. AIPAC would be a salient point. No. Okay? Not even a little bit. The amount of people that were just like super disinterested, whether they're Yemeni or not, was very interesting. For them, it was all DTE, and for them, it was childcare. Okay? It was DTE and childcare, from my experience. Which I found to be an interesting anecdote, because I would ask some of the people, like, what do you think about Israel, what do you think about AIPAC? And they were like, no. Don't have any opinions about it at all. Which I thought was interesting. But yeah, DT is the power company, the local power company in Michigan that everybody fucking hates. Utility company. So, yeah, I mean, people were not locked in on the news at all. They were oblivious that there was an election happening, which makes sense. and you know, we'll have more insight, and we'll talk about this more with Donovan later as well. But yeah, obviously the main issue is affordability for a lot of folks. You know, they're just like living their days, living day to day, working, and you know, they don't care about foreign policy, which is fine. I don't expect everybody to care about it. And the more successful way to talk about foreign politics or foreign policy with a lot of folks was around, you know, like, we're taking the money that we should be spending here, where these neighborhoods are in a state of disrepair, and we're sending it overseas. Do you like that for war? And they go, no, fuck no. That is messed up. Bro, I sent an Uber Eats to the venue, but you ended stream right after when it got there. Wait, that's crazy. I've been to that area. Those families are big, and DTE is a bigger problem than APAC will ever be. Those two issues will actually have more direct impact. Yeah. Well, good thing for us. Our side is pushing for accountability on that as well, and DTE as well. Last year, my DTE bill for my one bedroom went from $60 to well over $100. Yeah. Most people in Michigan have backup generators due to how shit and common outages are with DTE. Bro, it is. Let me tell you something, guys. Last time I went to Hamtramck, the side that I saw of Hamtramck was far different than this side I saw. Okay? The neighborhoods that we were traversing were in a state of disrepair. Okay? Same with different parts of Dearborn I've been to, same with different parts of Detroit I've been to, but god damn, dude. America really is a motherfucking third world country with a Gucci belt. Like, it's so messed up how much wealth this country has and how little we spend it on some of these other parts of the country. It is a disaster. Okay? It is so fucked up. Like, the fact that you guys are sincerely talking about brownouts and blackouts in a supposedly first world country, developed country, one of the wealthiest country on the planet, right? That's insane. Like, I grew up with blackouts because I was growing up in Turkey. I'm used to blackouts, right? But that's Turkey. That was the whole point. There is no blackouts in America, right? That's not supposed to happen in America. As a matter of fact, when I would come to America, I was shocked at how stable the grid was back in the day. Like, if you are growing up in a developing country, if you're growing up in a country not as wealthy as the United States of America, outside of the Western world, if you ever had the opportunity to visit America, you would look at how good the infrastructure was in comparison to your country, right? Now, many of you are American, so this is not for you, I guess. This is not an experience that you can comprehend, but that's like a common thing that people outside of the United States used to say about the United States. This is a very common thing that we bring up about how good the American grid is, how reliable it is. Nowadays, we're going to have Americans moving to other countries and being like, you know what? America's hollowed out. You guys don't understand how bad it is. It's not even just the city area either. Out here in the suburbs, we get fucked by DTE outages constantly as well. I've had at least 3 outages that lasted at least a few hours just in the past 2 months. Yeah. 30,000 homes without power for 3+ days in Detroit, last big one. They keep getting rate increase approvals from the state despite this. This is why DTE is such a big issue in southeastern Michigan. Yeah. And once a crisis hits the suburbs, Once the crisis hits the suburbs, you know it's fucked. If the middle class and the wealthy are getting impacted, you know it's really fucked. This is an old photo of you. That's funny. Okay, no, that's not me. That's the motherfucking Rizzler. It's a real honor to be compared to his level of greatness, but. I don't. He looks horrible. How dare you say that? He looks like the goat. Anyway, but it was a fun experience overall. Very, very valuable experience. Finally had like a little bit of shawarma. Walked around, talked to some folks. Saw some NYC DSA folks that are out here as well. You know, they really love their elections over there. They love elections so much. But yeah, it was a great experience. And then I went to bed, woke up, and the reason why I'm late this morning is because I was doing an interview. Because I have a journalist that's like following me along, as you guys know, trailing me around, and is, you know, covering the insurgent left movement with a focus on your boy. And this community as well. Another 20K down the drain. You already know what's up. That's it. Cut up quotes incoming. No, it's gonna be a long piece.